Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a complete pantry makeover. As you can see, my pantry is really small and I feel like I can just find a better way to use the area. I have so many snacks, so many like canned goods, just a lot that I feel like can be, it can look a little better. So that's what we are doing in today's video. The first step in this whole madness project is just taking everything out. And right now I am trying to group items together. So I just kind of group my snacks together, and then I grouped any kind of like baking items, pastas, things like that. And at moments, I felt myself getting a bit frustrated, but you just kind of have to push through. This is the part where it's just not as fun as you would hope and imagine, but I promise it does get better. One more thing during this process, I also was looking at expiration dates to just toss out those items that were no longer good. And the last thing left in the pantry were these containers. So I'm grabbing these out of there to start with a clean slate. You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. That's where you belong. You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. Spend it all alone. You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. That's where you belong. Here is a closer look at the pantry we are working with. As you can see, it is really small. The sides kind of go in, so that does give you more space, but honestly, it's kind of useless. So we're gonna work with this right now. So during my thought process of how this would all work, I figured that I should put all of the containers in the pantry first to see where everything would fit. I probably wouldn't do this step again, honestly. It definitely changed as time went on, but it still was nice to just, I guess, make sure everything did fit at the end. So I had some granola in these airtight containers, but I figured I could get better use out of those. So I had some mason jars on hand, and I put granola along with some other stuff that you'll see in these mason jars. And I also bought these labels off of Amazon. They were really inexpensive, and it came with this chalkboard pen. So it was really nice to be able to label everything with these. As you can see on the containers, I just literally cut a piece of computer paper and wrote down what was in that container with the pen. So I definitely suggest doing these labels from Amazon or wherever else you want to buy them. Items that I had duplicate of, which luckily was not too much, I just consolidated everything in containers. So these airtight containers, they are the OXO brand, and I buy them one at a time, honestly, in Home Goods. The others that I have, I bought when Target was doing a really good sale on these containers. So I suggest, because they are an investment, I suggest that if you want them, just buy them one at a time, two at a time, and over time it'll add up. And now we are moving on to the part for me that was the most fun, but at the same time, probably also frustrating. We are just getting all of the snacks and figuring out what container to put them in. This was quite a task, just because I was trying to fit everything in these containers, but because of the small space with the pantry, I couldn't buy more containers. So it worked out, but yeah, this part, honestly, it was really fun.
Here I stand, I know I walked away. Had to find the person I'd become. You should go back home.
Next, I have these jars that I bought from Container Store. I bought three of them and they were about $4.99 or $5.99 each. So this first one, I'm just filling up with some candy that I have that hopefully will be empty soon, and I'll figure out what to put in there next. So I decided to pour out these items that I don't use very much. It was some spelt flour, almond flour, and steel cut oats that I had in these airtight containers. And I just figured I could find a better use for those containers. So I put those items in these mason jars.
I was high and I was low, moved through mountains, rain and snow, but I felt that I was further from the truth.
If you saw my Trader Joe's haul, then you saw that I bought these organic Turkish apricots that were dried, and I was taking a little taste to see how I liked it. I will admit, my first one, I was like, oh no, I do not like these at all. But for some reason, that first one was pretty hard, but I've been snacking on them throughout the week, and I have changed my mind. I definitely do enjoy them now.
Go back home, go back home, go. It's been there all along. You should go back.
Side note, for a little trail mix idea, the dried apricots, some raisins, some of the unsweetened coconut chips with some kind of nut. I was using cashew. It is really, really good. Just like a nice little pick-me-up throughout the day.
Go back home, go. That's where you belong.
I had some hemp hearts and chia seeds, and I was reading online that they were better stored in the fridge. So I threw these in mason jars as well and put them in my fridge. So this is where the rearranging started. I had this second jar and I figured these smaller snacks would fit better in here. That way the bulkier snacks I had could go in the container.
Go back home, go. That's where you belong. Here I am. Know it's been a while. I was in denial about my life.
I'm struggling to make these Pringles fit in the third and final jar, but they finally did. And I'm so happy that that worked out because I was able to put these chips that I completely forgot about in this container.
It's been there all along. You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. That's where you belong.
So now that I found a home for most of the snacks and items for the pantry, it was time for my favorite part, which was putting the containers in. There was quite a bit of rearranging as well for this process, but you just have to play along with the space that you're working with and something will work out.
I was high and I was low, moved through mountains, rain and snow, but I felt that I was further from the truth. In one dark and stormy night, rolling thunder, flashing light, heard a whisper in
I started out with the method of having the chocolates up top. That way I wouldn't be so tempted to easily reach for them. And then I had the snacks at eye level. And the healthier snacks, I guess you could say, like the nuts and raisins and stuff like that, I had right below. And then all of my pastas and cooking items, baking items, I had below that.
You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go.
And this last shelf, I'm just putting some canned goods and rice.
Go back home, go back home, go. Just been there all along. You should go back home.
I really didn't want anything on the floor, so I'm removing all of the things that I had under here, which I didn't realize I had half of it. I don't even use some of this stuff. So I removed it all, definitely vacuumed because there were quite a bit of dust bunnies. And I'm grabbing this basket that fits perfectly and I'm putting all of my backstock items or just items that didn't fit on the other shelves in here. And side note with this basket, because I am so proud, I was in Target one day and I randomly found these on clearance for $5.98. They were originally like 20, so I definitely grabbed a few.
Just been there all along.
And here's the final look. I am so happy with how everything came together. I definitely tried my best to work with the space that I had. Again, the pantry is really small, but it all worked out at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Had to find a place.